What's good, YouTube? Welcome to the channel, the brand new channel, the fitness channel. Now, this will be my first video here, and maybe my first. It might be my second, actually, but we're gonna see. Either way, reaction video. We are reacting to Jubilee's, what is it? Jubilee middle ground. Taking steroids is cheating. Natural versus steroids. Bodybuilders. My personal opinion, I don't see myself ever taking steroids. It's just not my thing. If you do, you know, you do. That's on you. But we just want to see what they talking about, how they feel about it. I don't really feel a way towards anything. If you're taking steroids, though, just be honest about you taking steroids. Don't, come on now. Let's be real, because half the time we can tell. But make sure you guys like, share, subscribe to the channel. Follow me on TikTok and follow me on Instagram. I just created Instagram, but follow me there for more content, more uploads, and let's get into the video.
Steroids are therapy.
Most guys at the gym, if you go to the gym, you're not
what is it playing out of? Hold on, y'all. Might not be getting to the video yet. All right, I got it fixed now, so let's get to it.
Because your test is low. You're using it to be a.
I'm not gonna lie, I've seen some of this already. Like the first little discussion.
Proudest moment, just the physique that I've built over the years.
When people come up to me,
The first little discussion I've seen, but
One of my proudest
after that,
moments
I
is
turned off.
actually
I might as well react to this.
3 gold
I ain't got no
medals in
video
the
up yet, so let's do
natural
this.
Coolest thing I ever did in the gym was bench 415.
winning Muscle Mania Universe was, my most prestigious.
You bench 415, so your bench is 315.
Proudest moment was when I got my pro card. The proudest thing was yesterday. I hopped off stage for the first time competing after just 3 years of training. Won a few shows, got 7 medals in total.
My best memory.
I'm gonna keep it to myself.
Strength
But like, he don't look
Challenge.
like
Best
he.
accomplishment, obviously,
That natural.
getting an IFBB Pro card.
Proudest moment, having a mid-low physique to having a physique that I've always wanted.
I need to learn how to flex, like how to look good while flexing. I'm not gonna
My
lie.
name is Eric Janicki. You guys
I think I got a
might
pretty
remember
good
me
physique.
from the
You
fitness
feel
versus
me?
fat
Right.
episode, but today I
I don't know how to
back
show
the
that bit off.
moderator, and today's topic is natural versus steroids. Step forward if you agree.
Got some
Steroids
coffee,
are
man.
dangerous and should not be normalized in fitness.
So for me,
I'm gonna try not to pause as much because it's like an hour-long video.
I
Let's
don't
see.
really like it when I see
think
guys
I-
that
and
take
I've seen this
steroids
one,
and then
so-
they call themselves natural and they compete in the natural organization. So for that reason, I basically feel like they're cheating. So I don't really think that they should normalize it. Once you normalize it, then it gives guys a reason to take those steroids and then come and compete in an organization that they shouldn't be competing.
So to clarify, you're saying that it's actually getting more normalized by people that are fake naturals that are saying
Correct.
that they're natural, but they're actually not. So you think that's actually the biggest part of the problem?
That's one of the big problems, correct?
I think steroid culture is ultimately what is corrupting the industry more than anything else. The first side of the question
You
is
look like,
addressing that is dangerous.
Maui.
And there are many
Y'all see
health
Moana?
risks that I feel
It's
as
really
though
just
they're
the
not
hook on
spoken
his-
about enough, and
on
that's
his
one of the
necklace
biggest
that's
problems.
making me say that.
And we can go down a
And the
list
hair.
of like cardiovascular
tattoos, though.
issues, liver damage, skin and hair changing, heart problems, ultimately death if you go far enough down the rabbit hole. Just recently, we had credible, like highly respected bodybuilders in the industry drop dead. Cedric McMillan, Sean Roden, Dallas, George Peterson, and all of these gents were mid to late 30s and early 40s. And if that doesn't tell you what you need to know, then you are blind and you're driven by ego.
And another side, I don't think it talked about a lot.
They're
of
gonna
mental
touch on
issues,
it. They're gonna
like
touch on it.
psychological aspects.
What I was about to say
rage,
about that.
anxiety,
Mood swings.
paranoia, and that's something that if they don't die from a, like you said, a physical cause,
Is
even
it
with
loud?
This
Or
being
am I
on edge all
louder
the
than-
time,
hold on.
your escalated moods, and that's something you don't want to deal with.
So the reason that I stepped forward
I'm gonna put it right there.
is because steroids are dangerous. And I don't think there's really anyone that can really argue against that. But that's the reason why I host my own podcast, is the purpose of me being open about the fact that I use them and that I'm in a sport that utilizes them, is because there's a lot of information that people do not know about this. It's like sometimes it feels like its own university class. I think it's very easy for anyone to just jump in and start it without knowing a thing about it. So it's hard for me to say about like whether or not I'm technically normalizing it or not. But I agree it's dangerous, and I mean, you should be informed. You shouldn't just take something that you don't know anything about.
100%. I totally agree. I feel like fitness for me is
Okay.
more about
That was
something,
it.
you know, that you want to do to get better, to feel better, to look better, of course. And I feel like the fact that it's getting normalized now, it defeats the whole purpose of fitness, in my opinion.
I remember when I was a kid, growing up, I played football, ran track, baseball, the whole nine.
I'm about to
I was
say,
from
wait,
South Florida, very
that's what I'm here for.
competitive
Listen
state.
to him, yeah.
And we used to joke and say, I don't even do protein shakes. That's how much it stigmatized that we thought protein was was the key.
Is bro on the right, left, wherever, black shirt? Is he actually natural? I'm not saying he not. You feel me?
Yeah.
No, we thought it was juicing. Like we
I
literally
was
came
saying.
to the fact that like
For me, it was
oh,
preteen.
He's
preteen
kind of
too.
big.
I would
22
drink
year
a
old.
protein shake. My friends like, bruh, you're not natural. And this is like 16, 17, so we were not that young, but we're ignorant to it. And that was I'm 36, so that was like 2003 to 2005.
Yeah.
And going to the point of it's more normalized.
If
I
he
feel
is,
like
oh,
I've met
impressive.
kids
That's
who are
impressive.
18,
No
19, who
disrespect
haven't finished
at all.
puberty.
Younger.
Right.
So it's like one thing to use it. That is what it is, but it's like you haven't even finished growing yet.
And that is the problem. When you normalize steroids, then the young kids are going to start taking it also. And then, you know, those are the ones that are going to be dying quick, right? I mean, people don't talk about that. They just talk about, oh, you look good, you know, you're going to get buff. Sure, but there's a lot of implications to it.
Based on what you guys are saying, do you think that there's an age where it's more or less appropriate? Or do you think it's
Now we know what you on. We know what you about, brother.
across the board?
At least 5 to 10
You know
years,
what you
gotta
about.
give
Am I?
yourself a real
Okay.
training as a natural.
Yeah.
You know, if you even think about that. But I would just say don't do it anyway.
So my opinion is that the use of steroids for visual appeal or physical alteration, the visual aesthetic across the board should not be normalized. I don't think that's good at all. There are times when you get later in your age when your hormonal levels start to decrease, and there are times when people will take testosterone or whatever chemical, whatever substance that they need to get their levels back to normal so that they can feel better in day-to-day life. That's the only time in my opinion, when I feel it is
Kind of wristband he got on.
appropriate. But outside of that, if you're using
Some
steroids
high-tech
to
shit.
look better, to get shredded, to alter your physical appearance, no.
All right, can the disagreeers come and step forward?
Why he laughing?
All right, so I think you guys have a misconception of steroid use, and then you guys have a wrong grasp of steroid abuse. So a lot of what you guys were talking about is steroid abuse. Like all the people you named who died and were very young or whatever, were abusing steroids. And I didn't step forward fully because I can't get that. Steroids are definitely dangerous. I wouldn't tell people to do it or not to do it or whatever. I wouldn't bring it upon people, but I couldn't get down with the whole thing.
I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's the verbiage that a lot of people that use steroids use, which is totally understandable. But that's the thing is like communication is difficult sometimes. People use verbiage in a different way. So a lot of people will say any steroid use is steroid abuse.
Right.
That's the problem. But if you're most of the time, only the people that are in like the bodybuilding industry who literally spend day in and day out studying this for themselves and for whoever else they're dealing with, if the coaches or their athletes themselves, understand that you can stay alive, you can be
For sure.
risk averse.
Let me know what y'all think.
So,
Y'all think
I think everybody's
any
really off
steroid
this
use is
question.
steroid abuse?
Steroids are dangerous. What's a steroid? How is it dangerous?
Now this
In
part,
what
bro, like,
application?
come on.
If
Let
you look at
him
the
get through what he gotta
testosterone
say
level
first.
Of a 20-year-old now, it is at the same level.
Cause
as
he
the
be
testosterone
talking,
level
bro.
of a
Like,
7-year-old
I-
in 1970s. We
First time I
have
saw this, I
a
was like, all right, bro.
testosterone epidemic. Most men over the age of 30 have female-level testosterone. Testosterone being low is more dangerous than having your levels normalized via TRT. So looking at that question, you're thinking about somebody going and just jamming grams of test in their delt every day.
It's dangerous.
That's dangerous. That's dangerous. Too much water is dangerous, right? We all agree you could die from too much water. So by saying that steroids are dangerous, what about you have an inflammation attack, prednisone?
Hold on,
Is that
hold on,
dangerous?
sorry.
Too much McDonald's is dangerous.
Sure, but that's not necessarily used to
So
get
in the fitness
aesthetic,
world,
to become aesthetic, right?
well, the question
and
was
most
not
guys that are
addressing
at the
aesthetic.
gym that I see,
The question was broad. Are steroids
See, like, I know what he's saying, right? Like, I get it. Steroids can be used in a way to help you, like, help you medically or whatever, and regulate you or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, not all steroid usage is dangerous, of course. Like, we get that. Some people go to the hospital, get steroids because that's what they prescribed or whatnot. We understand that. But he know dang well that's not what this question is about. The question is broad. Come on now. Why are we here? We ain't talking about you being on steroids because your doctor said you needed to be. That's what
and that's the problem with the natty camp.
Like,
you guys vilify all steroid use when it's therapeutic. AIDS patients, should they be allowed to use steroids?
like, and he think he got somebody,
The
like,
question was broad. Are steroids bad?
watch
And
his
that's the
face, bro.
problem with the natty camp. You guys vilify all steroid use when it's therapeutic. AIDS patients, should they be allowed to use steroids?
I'm a natural.
I can't get it. Bro, hold on. I need it. Are they
That's
allowed to do
the problem
steroids?
with the natty camp. You guys vilify all steroid use when it's therapeutic. AIDS patients, should they be allowed to use steroids?
But get it. You see it. You see it. I can't time it well enough.
Nah, I'm calling you out. You, Michael Hearn, see me at Panda.
Whatever, man. Listen.
I mean, he's not really taking it. He's joking around and everything, so it's cool. It's whatever.
There's a level
It's
you can't
like,
reach
bro.
naturally.
You're absolutely
Everybody knows it.
Come on,
And
bro.
I love
You know what we
bodybuilding,
talking about.
And I love the image of the golden era. Everyone knows that. Because it's something that's untouchable, right? It's a physique that you can't buy.
No.
And that's the only thing that you can get there is by enhancing yourself. Let's keep it real.
But the question was not about that.
But the question wasn't about that. But I think that
about
it's
steroids.
very subjective. It's very opinionated because we all have our
So
individual
would you all agree?
experiences with it.
Would you all agree that in some cases steroids are
Are
therapeutic?
not dangerous.
Yeah, if it's medical.
But I mean,
if you're using it for
like,
medical use,
yeah.
correct.
mentioned
But
people-
Well, what's a
most
medical
guys at the gym, if you're going to the gym, you're not using a therapeutic, or you're not using because your test is low. You're using it to be I just want to be an asshole at the gym. You know what I mean?
So taking steroids makes you an asshole.
No, I don't think that. No, that's not what I'm saying.
He didn't have
just
to
saying,
say
like,
that.
Most guys
But
use it for
but
medical
yes,
Appreciate
bro.
you calling my friend. Okay,
I'm not calling him.
Like, come on, bro.
Maybe it's the test levels, dude. Maybe guys on gear are fucking warriors, and the guys that are natural, we have low tests. Like,
No, my test naturally is 957 nanograms per deciliter.
well, I don't think I have low test either. But if
It's this guy. Nope. My
maybe
test is
guys on
blah blah
gear
blah. My
are
test is
fucking
957.
warriors, and the
He had
guys
to
that
let
are
it be
natural,
known,
we have
like,
low
no,
tests. Like,
my
My test naturally is 957 nanograms per deciliter.
well, I don't think I have
I
low
didn't-
test
I
either.
didn't-
But if they feel that way, because look at them how they work.
like, bro,
out.
I wasn't really
And they're making gains.
specifying it for you. Then
Of course.
Realize why they developed steroids,
a hit dog a holler.
right? It wasn't get jacked. In fact,
Like,
in
bro,
1980,
okay.
Sure, but
they
if
were
I'm
telling
taking
us that steroids don't cause muscle gain. That was the government's official message. So steroids,
I wasn't paying
when
attention.
taken in excess, like anything else, can be very dangerous.
Which
right?
that's the problem.
But but the problem is, and this is probably something down the line. The problem is when the fitness industry takes something and they amplify it.
Yeah,
I think
clean
that's what
hairline.
you guys are arguing that the young fitness influencers who are promoting copious drug use to get to their goals, making millions of dollars on YouTube, it's going to get a lot of kids to do it as well.
Here's the thing: just because something's dangerous,
Now,
like
they- now-
abusing steroids dangerous.
Now, his point that he about to make, don't make it.
That doesn't mean we shouldn't normalize it. Like, you guys are saying we shouldn't normalize steroids; it's bad. But you're also watching. You're watching the Olympia. Those are the people that blast grams of gear. Like, things that are awesome, entertaining, are dangerous. UFC, dangerous. NFL, dangerous. You guys all watch the NFL. It's Sunday. You're probably pissed you missed the last game. Even though more people in the NFL are dying trying to get there, more kids are dying trying to get there than there are people that are the kids abusing steroids. So just because it's dangerous doesn't mean it's bad to put out on the world, just because, you know, we're humans. We want exciting, entertaining stuff. And nobody's denying that it's dangerous, but we can still enjoy how insane it is to look at a monster like this. It's like, that's incredible.
I have children. Of that age. How do you get them not to get jacked? And yes, young
Bro,
people on
what?
testosterone, it
Those
is
aren't
messy.
drugs.
Like you're in an age where you're developing teenagers.
What about the
developing, they're
NFL
becoming
and
fertile. There's a lot of bad things that can happen.
MMA? Yes,
So the
it's
key is,
dangerous.
by
We get
discussing
that.
it like y'all do,
But you're in a
we're able to go
controlled
and say,
environment
"Oh,
doing
here's
that.
the negatives from it." So as long as they're being
I mean,
fair
I
and
get what he's
balanced
saying,
with,
but
"I'm
don't do
doing
it just
this,
because
But
I'm talking over him, but whatever.
Negative thing. I think we're in a good spot.
Well, there's also
like-
a cigarette pack that says you can die, but people still smoke. So
See, this is a good
in
point.
the end, people just
This is a
make
good
their own
point.
choices.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That gives
Which is there's no problem if you're making your own choice.
argues our point, no?
But there is a problem if you're teaching other people that it's okay, right?
Well,
When
but-
Like,
Camel-
it's
when
not
Camel
okay
used
to smoke a
they had
cigarette.
Cowboys and they were
Like,
smoking like, hey,
objectively
look at me, I'm
speaking,
cool. Well, every
or
kid wants
was
to
it
be like
subjective?
that, right?
I don't know.
So you're kind of deceiving the kids.
Like,
You
cigarettes are
have to
not
see
good
both,
for you.
'cause cigarettes and steroids are dope. Like you're out here getting jacked. To be in the NFL, you gotta be on steroids, which is dope.
No, you don't. You don't have to be on steroids to get to the NFL, which is why they have drug testing in the NFL.
Being jacked, dope. Smoking darts, dope. It's all dope. Why are we pretending like it's not dope? Everyone knows it's not healthy.
Cigarettes aren't cool. Bro, if you think cigarettes are cool, let me know.
But why are we not talking?
Let me know down below, and
about,
so I can block
wow,
you.
That is a really fun, cool thing that changes life for the better. Even though I know it's unhealthy, everyone's hammering the unhealthy, unhealthy, unhealthy. A good cigarette and some coffee, that's awesome.
Where are you living at? What movies are you watching? What commercials are you still watching? Because cigarettes are not cool, bro. And it's just like you're doing something because it's cool. That's why it should be normalized because you think it's cool. No, bro. Somebody could think
First
crack
of all, I
is
don't have a
cool. They
problem
live
with
down the
guys
street.
that
So it
choose
should be
to do
normalized. 'cause
steroids
it's,
or not, right? That's their own choice.
what,
I think
heroin?
That's the problem.
All this other stuff?
I think the problem
Because y'all think
is
it's cool?
when you say
No,
that that's
bro.
cool, he's saying, like, oh, that's cool. That makes you badass. Every kid wants to be a badass, and they don't.
Like, that's not-
realize-
that's-
They don't have enough time for them to understand the implications that
Hold on.
happen, right? All
Let
the
him finish.
debt
Cool
that-
is not necessarily promoting it.
What's happening?
Saying it's cool is not necessarily promoting it.
Well, we say that.
It is
but
promoting it?
is
Well, it's
it?
like I like what I like. They can
I mean,
watch you and be natural, and you say that's cool. I like what I like. I'm just gonna talk about what I enjoy.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I get it, but
Exactly.
I
There's
think
nothing
when
wrong
you're
with that.
young, most of the kids can make their own decisions, right? Like you and I can make. We're
Mm-hmm.
older, we can understand this, and you've been through it, so that's the reason we can speak.
But that's
from
the
that.
game. Is you have to grow up and make your own decisions. We can't be feeding them decisions, or you see what I'm saying?
I got a question for you.
All right, before you start, the whole point of it looking cool and why you think it's cool and why the other person is talking about whatever they're promoting it doesn't make it cool, blah, blah, blah. They're promoting it to look cool, so you will do it. Like, good or not, you thinking it's cool and you want to do it. It's the reason they're promoting it that way. So you can do, like, I don't get it, bro.
You guys,
It's not hard to
you guys ever thought
understand,
about hopping
really.
on, like, ever?
But come on.
I have.
Okay, so
I haven't yet.
you haven't yet. You never thought about it. Have you?
I haven't because of the health reasons. That's it.
That's the number one thing you
That's
just
number
shut it
one-
out of your brain.
that's just my personal reason. Doesn't
Okay,
matter.
now why did you think about doing it? I'm curious.
So the reason I thought about taking steroids is because of seeing as though I look like this natural, and I've been able to be successful in the sport up to this point. I'm Mr. Universe in the Muscle Mania, which is a natural bodybuilding federation, and that's a pretty prestigious title just in bodybuilding overall. With it being that I look like this natural, I've been training for 14 years. I know that if I were to take steroids, I would more than likely like blow up. I would end up just capitalizing on my physique, my genetic potential. I would look just more
That's the reason why I think that there is a
freakish.
reason why people should hop on. Is because people like you and people like me have thought this shit out for a long time. We know what the potential is.
He sound like he
I'm
want to
saying
do
if we
it,
ever
but
wanted to
he
take
know
it
it's
to that
wrong.
level, bro, you know what it takes.
I know what it takes, but just like
'Cause
because
what's the point you making for real?
Because I'm
that's a
thinking
personal
about
choice.
it is a personal choice. Yeah.
The thing is, there's a lot of like health repercussions.
We spend a lot of time.
but
They
it's
spend a lot of
whole
time on this
nother
topic.
Job.
Could go the other
When
way
you-
around though.
When you go into bodybuilding and you decide to go that route, there's going to be a whole list of things that you need to learn and take care of when you're doing this, and it's going to be a lot of money too, like a ton,
Add years
especially if
onto
you
your
care
life.
about your longevity. And a lot of pro Olympians and bodybuilders will say too, good blood work
Longevity.
builds muscle in a way. So
You know what he meant,
basically,
though.
like an unhealthy body is an unresponsive body. So the more you just just eat Anadrol every fucking day, sooner or later your body might not be growing as well. And that's like one simple surface level thing that you have to think about, but add that on top of all the other things you need to think about to make sure that you're going to not die of a heart attack by age 40.
Natural bodybuilding is the only honest form of bodybuilding. Agreeers, please step forward.
Now, I've seen some of this. Oh, commercial. I'll be back. I was about to say this one. I seen some of this. I didn't watch the whole thing they taught. My opinion. I'm just gonna say my opinion before they even start. Natural bodybuilding is an honest form. I don't think that's true. I think it's just like one of those things, like when you're competing, wherever you're competing at or whatever, you have to be amongst those other people. Like if you're doing a natural bodybuilding competition, or you're just on steroids but you're saying you're natural, then it becomes dishonest. But if you're on steroids and you're competing or whatever against other people on steroids, all right, whatever, it's cool. Like it don't matter, because you're on a fair playing field. Just like in sports or whatever, like we expect you to be natural or whatever. But if you're using,
it's the only real honest
PEDs
form of bodybuilding, because you were going
it's a
with
body here.
nothing outside of what you could achieve by natural means. And when you involve steroids or any kind of enhancement drug, you're now stepping outside of what you could achieve naturally. It's not really.
I don't think it necessarily makes you dishonest or
much more that
honest,
needs to
though.
be said. I think it's just that plain and simple.
Genetics play a huge role in the sport of bodybuilding. Do I agree that a lot of people that are blasting gear right now should be blasting gear based off of their genetic buildup? No. I don't think that a lot of people who have the potential to win. I don't. But if we were to delete all steroid use and just we all have one genetic buildup, one that God gave us, or we have the food that grows on the earth that we all eat, why can't we just take what is given to us and see what we can make out of it? But I just feel like human beings always have to take it to the next step.
All right, disagreeers, please step forward.
What is natural bodybuilding? You take a polygraph test. You have to be natural for 7 years. So we know from recent data that
He be coming
steroid
out
use
on 10, boy.
It makes you pretty much more awesome for life. So what is natural? So that means that all natural organizations, the WMBF, the OCB, all those things, they're not honest, because all of them have this 7-year thing. There is no natural bodybuilding organization. And honestly, no one would watch it. There's a natural Mr. Olympia. Nobody knows about it. I didn't even know
just this weekend, actually.
It was? Damn.
See?
See? I'm literally an IFBB pro. I had no idea that was this week.
Yes, natural Olympia.
But we all know when the Olympia was.
Natural
We all
Mr.
know when
Olympia.
Arnold's going to be. We all put it on our calendar.
Well, I know when
People
natural
want to see. Yeah, the people want to see the big freaks. But the
Well, I
bottom
think
line
that
is,
there's a difference between what people want to see and also what's good, right? Or what's healthy, what's the right
you said
thing.
honest.
There's the right thing and
is
there's
natural bodybuilding healthy?
Sorry.
Honest.
Is
well,
getting
natural
down,
bodybuilding to a certain degree is not.
is
correct?
getting down. Look, I would
But I
argue.
think natural bodybuilding is not as unhealthy as taking drugs.
Okay, so getting yourself down to 5% body fat, where your testosterone plummets to the single digits, that's healthy?
Sure, no, that's not healthy.
Do you
but-
realize a lot of female competitors in natural organizations have issues getting pregnant later in life because they tank their hormones?
Sure, people eating,
So
McDonald's
there is
bad,
no
right?
healthy bodybuilding. To compete at a level that doesn't look like shit, to look amazing like that guy, you're going to be unhealthy. And I will argue that having stable hormone levels is as, if not more healthy than having tanked hormone levels from being natural.
If you are enhanced and you're honest about it, does that make it still
Kinda got his
not a
ass.
form of bodybuilding, since there's these tools at people's disposal and they're being honest about utilizing those
Sure,
tools?
as long as they're competing on the other side, right?
Yeah. So if he's telling someone what he's taking to get ready for a show, that's honest.
Well, that's honest.
Well, everybody's honest because
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
As long as you say it, right?
Yeah.
The
Everybody.
problem is a lot of guys that do take steroids, they say they're natty. That's the other problem,
I
right?
think
That's the only problem.
Oh, I think we all have a problem with
That's
that.
a big problem with that.
The body
go.
positivity movement has gone.
Yeah, at least they
too
came to some
far. Would
some
the
agreements.
agreeers please step
Some
forward?
agreements. Cause it makes sense. Like, don't lie about what you're doing. Simple. What you lying
like,
for?
I'm all for confidence, someone being confident in themselves and the way they look and being happy with who they are and, you know, what they got going on. But it gets to a point where, like, the unhealthiness shouldn't be something that you are proud of. I think that's really not the way we should go about getting the message out, because there's a difference between healthiness, what is considered healthy, what is considered fit, and what is unhealthy, what is unfit.
So, what's the number one comorbidity? Obesity. We should not celebrate fatness. We should shun fat people. We should help them lose weight. We should tell them that is not good. To celebrate something that will inevitably lead to them dying, that is something we should not celebrate.
I should get my opinion
We need to be
before.
helping these people
I wasn't
lose
thinking.
weight
I
by not
forgot.
glorifying being fat, by not glorifying being gluttonous, by not glorifying being lazy. Also, being fat makes you stupid. Your brain will not operate as well because your oxygenation to your brain will be lowered. There is nothing good from being overweight and fat. We should not glorify things that are going to kill people.
That's right.
I talk on my social media platforms. I've been fat. I was fat for like 20 years of my life, and I've been fit, and fit is better every single time, no matter what.
Can I have
I agree, bro.
Spears step
Like-
forward as well, please?
Like, you shouldn't be overweight. Like, simple. I mean, I get it. People come through any skin, you know, everything. Like, just health wise. It's not even. It's not even really a conversation.
I think you guys are so concerned
healthy.
about what other people are doing with their bodies. Like, your definition of happiness is not the same as theirs. Let them be happy being fat as shit. We could have a cocaine positive movement, because if you're happy ripping a ton of cocaine, even though it's not necessarily healthy, as long as that's they're happy, let them do it.
See, what are you talking about? I get what he's trying to say, bro. Like, let people be them, be happy doing them, yada yada. And yeah, to a certain degree, yeah, like, don't go around shaming people. Don't, like bro said, shun them for being big and everything. Don't do that. That's dumb. That's stupid. Don't do that. But at the same time, if it's becoming a health risk and a concern, let them know. Like, you tell them, like, this is what it is, X, Y, Z. I think you should do this to get better. If they choose not to do that, all right, that's on them. But don't go around like, yeah, you fat lard, you need blah, blah, blah. No, bro.
Do what makes
Don't
you
do all
happy,
that.
which is being
That's
fit and healthy,
that's
but
too much.
It's not up to you.
Do you pay
to say.
taxes?
I do pay taxes.
Do you know how much
Yeah, somebody on
obesity
cocaine, you know.
contributes to our national debt a year?
Don't let anybody just rip
concerned
cocaine.
about the entire.
So you want to see people
America's
die.
such a great country. I'm gonna pay my taxes happy and not be "Rawr, feeding to fat people with my taxes, because there's so many layers to paying taxes that getting angry about it feeding the fat people is not something that I should be concerning myself with.
Body positivity.
Yes.
Is that necessarily fatness, though?
Yes.
It became it.
Everything.
Yes.
Just wasn't a
It's like
And is it
90%.
skinny people
thought it was
hyping up fat people, or is it fat people hyping up fat people?
Fat people having a fat people.
Yeah.
I want to get
And
fat.
people will disagree, and we might get heat for this, but that's
I
the
literally
truth.
don't. I've never heard.
Yeah,
I've never
that's
even
the truth.
been in that realm of body
It's-
positivity.
They're trying to say, like, yeah,
might
being
get-
fat is okay. It's not.
I didn't know that
They had
existed.
this obese lady on Cosmo, and it said, "This is the new fit," and the chick was just, built like Patrick from SpongeBob, right? Just sloppy fat. That's not the new fit. We can't redefine the word fit.
But
He
I
doing
kinda-
a-
I
he
agree,
doing a
though.
lot.
I just feel like
He doing a lot.
maybe social media has made us just so involved in other people's lives, like too much so.
In the 70s, if
Is
you
Rona
took a
Black gonna
picture
say something?
of any Parker beach, everybody was fit. Now you take a picture, everybody looks like they're beached on the beach. They're literally beached whales right there. So there's something systemic that's going on in society.
He got something against fat people, right? I ain't gonna lie.
Better lives. It'll lead to a more productive
Well,
society.
why don't we have more healthy restaurants other than McDonald's every block? You know, it's almost like things are.
It's consumer driven.
I have the society viewpoint as well. It's not a personal attack that we're aiming at everyone individually and being like, yo, you should feel like shit because you're not fit. We're aiming at like, okay, how can the world, America, function better? Everyone should want to prioritize fitness. That's just plain and simple. And those people who are allowing themselves to become overweight and obese and medically obese and just fat and out of shape, that should not be glorified. It shouldn't be pushed to the media as something that is acceptable.
Oh, well, I mean, every one of us here is a fitness influencer. Like, I guess we can all agree in that sense that we're going out and saying you should be fit. But I mean, I'm a fitness influencer, and it's like I promote taking steroids So it's like, I'm really just saying is, make up your own mind instead of looking at the magazine or going to McDonald's. So there's healthy options out there. You don't have to go to McDonald's. Even though you see it in a magazine or you see me taking steroids or they see you being healthy, it's not our job to make sure that they're doing, like you're trying to say we should herd people into being, like living your lifestyle.
I think the most important thing is still education, always. But I mean, this realm, there's a lot of education there. There already has been. But I think when I didn't step forward, I thought of a lot of individuals that promoted being fat, but I didn't really know the things that he talked about.
Bro in a purple hasn't said a single word yet.
Very, like
right here, and bro in the black on the other side said like one sentence.
Were changing.
Why y'all on here?
The word fit.
They get paid for this. You get paid to be on Jubilee.
I didn't really.
But I mean, if you go to the doctor and you're fat as shit, no doctor in America is gonna be like, you're good. It's within this system.
No, the doctors are
no fucking way, bro.
Nah, they are, bro.
Make America healthy.
They're gonna tell you're fat. In health class.
No doctor, I swear, bro. If you're a doctor and you watching this, I don't believe it.
I'm sitting in health class.
I don't think a doctor is telling somebody like you're healthy.
Exactly what you guys are seeing, bro.
Like you're overweight, you're obese.
School like 4 years ago, dude.
Like, no doctor is saying that.
Years old, I was in college and telling me it's not healthy.
No, they're
I go to
not.
the doctor, they tell me it's not healthy. I don't see exactly what you guys are saying. Just because one
Nobody's
magazine
saying
says it's okay
fat
to
is
be
healthy.
Fat as shit doesn't mean that's the
Come on
this
now.
massive epidemic that we need to fix.
As soon as Ozempic
I'm
came
pretty sure
out,
that goes
everybody lost
against
like
everything that they
150 pounds.
practice.
So
Stop
it was
it.
just to cope with their lack of actual willpower to lose the weight. As soon as they got an injection that can make them lose weight, what are they doing? Everybody's on Ozempic.
Most of us have some influence to some degree. I don't have millions of followers, but if people watch me, I taught college class called Total Wellness and Exercise Physiology for years. And I've talked to these people and they don't know this stuff, and that's why it's so easy for people to think, oh, I don't need to do it, because like you mentioned, education is a big part. So we got to teach them or at least show them. So obviously you don't have to worry about their lives or if they die or not. That's not what we're trying to say, I don't think, right? No one's saying you got to be mad if, oh my gosh, you're overweight. It's more so like if you have
Well,
a
Buddy
platform
is literally
and you can
mad
influence these
people
to
being
some degree,
overweight.
have some value to that.
But dude, I'm saying this, I was just in school and they were preaching the idea that being fat is not healthy. They know, but looking at a fat person and be like, you are like making them feel like shit because they're fat. That's not productive.
I agree.
Steroid use
I agree.
leads to unrealistic standards. Would the agreeers please step forward?
Yes. It's an unrealistic standard. Yes. Everybody should be up here right
I
now.
was probably here not too long ago when I was competing in some shows, natural. When Men's Physique came out, like what, 2012, 2013 or something, I was like, wow,
Oh, he
dude,
say
I
that?
always want to be Olympia, but I'm never going to get that big because I don't want to take steroids. I'm scared of needles, all these things. My parents would fucking disown me. And then I competed in the shows and thinking like, oh, Men's Physique is out. I can definitely, maybe I can make it there naturally. Competed at nationals like 3 times and I got 16th plus place. And they don't place anywhere after 16th. So I was just like, damn, I fucking suck.
Been there, my brother.
Yeah. And then I was with the coach at the time, and I know this is something that's, I think there are a lot of coaches out there that care about the health of their athletes and their individuals, but there's also those who just care about their athletes being first place. And my coach at the time was saying, if you want to do well, you got to take some shit, bro. And I would keep denying him, like 5 shows, then the last 3 national shows.
That's
I just kept
crazy,
denying
bro.
him. And then he kept pressing things, and he's like, take these aromatase inhibitors. They're going to dry you out.
You gotta take some shit.
Like, bro, I'm getting 16 plus place. I'm never gonna get my pro card. It's not a steroid, right? So I can take it. And this is kind of part of the reason why I feel like one of my biggest purposes in life right now is to just educate as much as I can, at least with whatever information I have, whatever information that other people have that are experienced, is because like I didn't know anything about gear, and I took aromatase inhibitors as a natural because it would make me drier on stage, bro. And that shit fucked me up, man. And long story short, there was a lot of other things that happened, but I basically picked myself up long term.
What?
And at one point I was like depressed for a year, and my female friends were telling me I should probably look into my mental health. I'm like, it's not my fucking mental health, man. Like my hormones, something's fucked up and I don't know what it is. So I just think the standards, as epic as bodybuilders are nowadays, as much as I love the golden era, like the standards aren't realistic for people that are natural.
Man,
and
bro
that want
really,
to stay natural.
bro
Whether
really
we
went
like
through
it or
something.
not, this shit is
He
going
finally said
mainstream
something.
with steroids, and these kids are f***ing themselves up real bad. And I've seen too many cases of it. So I think the more of us that come out and talk about how
Alex,
to
that's
do it
your name.
correctly and how to mitigate sides and risks and do it the right way, I think that's going to be best for our society moving forward.
You mentioned mental health, and this is something like I know you guys talk about a little bit, but going into the point of like disorders, like we talk about body dysmorphic disorder. Not saying someone on steroids gets that just because they want to get bigger, but there's a level that someone get to where they look in the mirror and they think they need to get bigger and get bigger. I think they nicknamed it like manorexia because it obviously affects men way
Manorexia.
more than women when it comes to getting bigger.
Yeah,
when it comes to
no.
body dysmorphic disorder, and that's associated with like OCD. You have an obsession. I got to get bigger. I look in the mirror. Now I got to run more, burn my cardio. Now I got to lift more. I got to do whatever. Not even just with steroids, but in the general of like getting to that level. And that develops all these habits. So going back to standards or expectations is like now we get to a point where our mind isn't right, and then that just couples with the physical point, and it's just a revolving door almost.
Do you think that, and I'll kind of direct this towards the natural side, do you think that more of the openness has now actually helped, let's say, natural lifters like yourself to feel like, okay, like I have actually achieved almost what would be the pinnacle for my age based on the fact that now I know like everybody on that side at whatever age is now enhanced?
I feel like
I'd like to hear from
the
that person.
genetics are really what's going to make a difference, right? He's natural, I'm natural, we look different, right? So I can't really expect to look like him. I think some people really misunderstand that. The genetics have a lot to do with it, right? So I'm never going to look like him. He's not going
Yeah.
to look like me. Vice versa, right? So all four of us are natural, but we look different. So we probably don't have education. enough
Still on the fence about old boy
understanding
right
that
here.
Genetics are going to take a big role. Right?
You're really
on
not
how
saying
they're gonna
much
look,
either.
No matter if you're taking steroids or if you're natural.
I'm not God, I don't know everything, obviously. I probably don't even know much. But what I do feel is that back in the day, I think maybe we had the perception that people like maybe Michael Hearn or people that are like really massive and jacked and like maybe on the Olympia stage could potentially be natural. Nowadays, I think it's kind of, I feel like it has flown in the other direction, and I want to believe in the potential of a human body. Like, I think Josh has an insane physique. Like, I want arms like this guy, and I want to believe that that's naturally.
Oh, he eating that up. He love that. And it's
like,
a long video. I ain't gonna lie, I might not watch this whole thing.
I think Josh has an insane.
come back for
physique.
a part two.
Like, I want arms like this guy.
I'm
And
already
I
at
want
40.
to believe that.
Flick. Thanks, man.
That's naturally.
He
achievable.
eating that up. No
Yeah,
disrespect,
that could be a one in a
Josh.
million. Still,
you
it
know,
doesn't change my point.
seem like a cool guy.
It doesn't change my.
Yeah.
That doesn't change my point that it is a big controversy on whether or not Josh is natural. Like, that's a common thing. You see it in his comments all the time. I feel like half the people don't believe him. But I think that part of the reason is because now it's skewed in the other direction where we don't believe, where a lot of people who are witnessing social media in the fitness space believe everyone's a fake natty sometimes.
Yes.
And I think that sucks because that ruins the hope of a lot of people or kids that want to become better.
Yeah, and
that's
to
true.
speak on
That's
kids,
rough.
it is a problem.
So I'm looking at my
I'm
mic while
performing,
I'm not. It's
All these
whatever.
kids
I don't
expect
gotta
to put
explain
on
myself
like
to
40
you.
pounds in 2 months. Right. Then you have to bring them down to reality. Like, you're not going to do what these guys do because you're an athlete and you're going to be tested. And honestly, you don't need to take it. You're a teenager. Right. So the problem is they see these unrealistic people and they think they can get there. Then they get disappointed when they don't get those kind of gains. So it's one of those things, but it's always been there. I thought Arnold was natural when I was a kid.
Right.
Like,
too.
Hey, I did too. I did too.
Yeah, so, but I didn't see anything
Crazy.
wrong with that. Here's why. At the time,
Crazy.
when I thought Arnold was natural, I thought I just needed to train harder.
Right.
I
Not
thought
train
Arnold
harder, not big
Schwarzenegger
enough,
was
right?
natural,
I think it's a double-edged
big
sword,
boy.
but kids are a problem. Like, I own gyms, and I see what these kids are doing. These kids are blasting cycles at 16, 17 years old. So there is definitely, where there's positives, we're talking about the positives, negatives, there are definitely negatives to having a steroid culture.
Like, I think that if anyone works,
Bro, how much longer is-
like, say, as big as Josh, and then someday they just never get there, they're not gonna like just off themselves. Like, I don't think the depression or like the
All right,
emotional
I'm gonna
effect
do
from
the
that
end
is
of
gonna be
this
enough
before the other two walk in.
versus saying
Then we're gonna go part
to
two.
this person
Then we
from the
gonna.
very beginning, you will
So
never
I got
get
stuff
there,
to
you
do,
might as
man.
well not try, unless you take steroids.
I got stuff to do.
I think the big problem in general is just the idea of comparing yourself to somebody. First of all, that is a whole subject for another time.
Comparison is
But
the thief of joy.
Outside of that, I think the whole unrealistic idea behind being natural and achieving a physique that is somewhat steroid-esque is, I don't agree with that, because the fact of the matter is, I don't care who doesn't believe me, I've never touched an enhancement, steroid, PED, whatever you want to call it, and I've been training for 14 years, almost half my life. The fact of the reality is, it is very real. I know genetics play a huge role in it, and not everyone is genetically gifted or things like that, but the fact of the matter is there are natural phenomenal people out there, phenoms, and their physiques look incredible. I believe Simeon Panda's natural. I believe Ulysses Jr. is natural. I believe Addie Ray is natural. All these guys who are literally magnificent in their size and stature. And it's just a fact, it's a matter of the natural community is not as big as it should be, in my opinion, in that we're not causing these freaks of nature naturally to come forward and to give the natural community a new standard.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Unrealistic thing and like the standards. I think natural community in bodybuilding has a huge standard that is just not stressed enough, and that's why it's considered down here.
Probably.
As much as I love them and everything,
I can see
just the natty or nots when you do them, when you create a video like that, it pops off.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think that's probably one of the biggest reasons for this skewing.
Can the disagreeers please step forward?
All right, y'all. So we're gonna end it right here. I'm gonna come back and do a part 2. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. Let me know if you like the video. Let me know if you like the reaction. If you want to see a part 2. It's a little long, and I got, I'm busy, got stuff to do. But yeah, like I said, like, share, subscribe. Let me know how you feel about being natural, how you feel about steroids, whatever. Like I said, for me, do what you do. Just be honest about it. Be safe about it. It don't really matter. It doesn't really matter. Like, don't do it because you think it's cool though. That was that. Right. Peace.